The warder looks down at the mid-hour of night on the tombs that lie scattered below. The moon fills this place with her silverly light, and the churchyard like day seems to glow. When see first one grave, then another opens wide, and women and men stepping forth and descried and cerements, snow white and trailing, in haste for the sport. Soon their ankles they twitch and whirl around and dance so gay, young and the old, and the poor and the rich, but the cerements stand in their way, and as modesty cannot avail them aught. Here they shake themselves all, and the sounds and the shrouds soon appear scattered over the tombs in confusion. Now waggles the leg, and now wriggles the thigh, as the troop with strange gestures advance, and a rattle and a clatter anon rises high as of one beat in time to the dance. The sight to the warder seems wondrously queer when the villainous tempter speaks thus in his ear. Sees one of the shrouds that lie yonder, quick as thought it was done, and for safety he fled behind the church door with all speed. The moon still continues her clear light to shed on the dance that they fearfully led, but the dancers at length disappear one by one, and their shrouds eerie they vanish. They carefully down and under the turf. All is quiet, but one of them stumbles and shuffles there still, and gropes at the graves in despair. Yet 'tis by no comrade he treated so ill. The shroud he soon scents in the air, so he rattles the door for the warder. 'Tis well that 'tis blessed, and so able to foe to repel, all covered with crosses of metal. But the shroud he must have, and no rest will allow. There remains for reflection no time on the ornaments Gothic. The white seizes now, and from point on to point haste to climb at last. For the warder, his doom is decreed, like a long-legged spider with netter changing speed, advances the dreaded pursuer. The warder he quakes, and the warder turns pale. The shroud to restore fame and salt, and when the end now can nothing to save him avail, and a two formed of iron and caught, and with vanishing luster the moon's race is run. When the bells thunders loudly a powerful one, and the skeleton fails, crushed to atoms, her strong enchantments failing, her towers of fear and wreck, her limbecks dried of poisons, and the knife at her neck. The queen of air in darkness begins to shrill and cry, "O young man, O my slayer, tomorrow you shall die. O queen of air in darkness, I think 'tis truth you say, and I shall die tomorrow, but you will die today. The woods decay and fall. The vapors weep with their burden to the ground. A man comes and tills the field and lies beneath, and after many a summer dies swan. My only cruel immortality consumes. I wither slowly in fine arms. Here at the quiet limit of the world, a white-haired shadow roaming like a dream. The ever-silent spaces of the east, far-folded mists and gleaming halls of morn. Alas, for the gray shadow, once a man so glorious in his beauty, and by choice, who madest him by chosen, that he seemed to his great heart more other than a god. I asked thee, give me immortality, then didst thou grant mine, asking with a smile like wealthy men who cannot how they give, but by strong hours indignant worked their wills and beat me down and marred and wasted me and bowed. They could not end me, lift me maimed, and to dwell in presence of immortal youth, immortal age beside immortal youth, and all I was in ashes. Can by love, by beauty, make amends about even now? Close over us, the silver star by glide shines in bus and bows, tremulous eyes that filled with tears to hear me. Let me go, take back thy gift. Why should a man desire in any way to vary from the kindly race of men, or pass beyond the goal of ordinance, where all should pause, as is most meet for all? The soft air fans the cloud apart. There comes a glimpse of that dark world where I was born. Once more of an old mysterious glimmer steals from by pure brows and from by shoulders pure and bosom beaten with a heart renewed. Thy cheek begins to redden through the gloom. Thy sweet eyes brighten slowly close to mine. Ear, yet they blind the stars and the wild team which love thee, yearning for thy yoke. Arise and shake the darkness from their loosened manes, and beat the twilight into flakes of fire. Oh, what can all be? A night at arms, alone and palely loitering. The siege was has withered from the lake, and no birds sing. Oh, what can all be? A night at arms, so haggard and so woe begone. The squirrel's granary is full, and the harvest done. I see a lily on thy brow, with anguish moist, and fever drew, and on thy cheeks a fading rose fast weareth too. I met a lady in the meads, a full, beautiful, fairy's child. Her hair it was long, her foot was light, and her eyes were wild. I made a garland for her head, and bracelets too, and fragrant zone. She looked at me, and she did love, and made sweet moan. I set her on my pacing steed, and nothing else saw all day long. For sidelong would she bend, and sing a fairy song. Ba-bum, bum, ba-bum, bum, ba-bum, bum.